With this session, we are going to discuss about metals versus non-metal, means the difference between metals and non-metals on the basis of their physical and chemical properties. First, we discuss about physical properties of metals and non-metals. Like here we are. On the basis of physical property, the first physical property we have discussed here, that is position in periodic table. Like you can see in this periodic table, all the metals which are represented in yellow color, they are mentioned at left hand side of periodic table, and all non-metals which are represented in blue color, they are mentioned at right hand side in periodic table. So this is one difference on the basis of position in periodic table. Metals are present at left hand side and non-metals except hydrogen all present at right hand side. Now other differences. On the basis of physical state, metals at room temperature are solid in state, except mercury, which is the only metal present at liquid state in room temperature. If you consider as non-metal, non-metals can exist in solid, liquid, and gaseous. Some non-metals like sulfur, like selenium, they are present in solid state. Bromine is present in liquid state, and oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, these are present in gaseous state. So we can say metals generally are solid in state, and non-metals, maybe some non-metals present in solid state, some in liquid, and some are in gaseous state. The next physical property is appearance. Metals are lustrous, they are shiny, but non-metals, they are dull, they are not lustrous. Next one, conductivity. Metals, due to they have free electron in their atomic structure. That is why they are good conductor of heat and electricity. But non-metals, they are poor conductor of heat and electricity. They do not have free electron in their atomic structure. Except graphite. Graphite is the only non-metal which is made up of carbon, which shows conductivity against electricity. Next property is malleability. Malleability means when we pressed, when we beaten them, they convert their shape without breaking and cracking. That is called malleability. Metals are malleable. While we beaten them, hammer them, they allow to spread and change in their shape, convert into sheets. But non-metal, they will get brittle into pieces. Like for example, sulfur. While we beaten them, it's become crumble because they convert into pieces. Next one, ductility. When we give temperature or heat to any substance, if it will get drawn into wire, that is called ductility. Most of metals are ductile in nature. While we give heat to them, they get spread off and convert into wire. Gold is most ductile metal. With 1 gram of gold, you can able to make 2 kilometer long wire. But if we talk about non-metals, they are non-ductile. While we give heat to them, it will get broken into pieces or it gets spread off and it will get the gas molecule move far and far away. The next property is density. It means degree of compactness. Metals are highly compact because the intermolecular interaction between metal particles is too strong. Except lithium, sodium, and potassium. They are present in solid state at room temperature, but they are highly reactive. Due to this reason, they can easily react with moisture or humidity present in atmosphere and they get oxidized. That is why they are allowed to change their physical state. But if we talk about non-metals, they have low density because generally most of non-metals present in gaseous state. And due to that, the atomic particle, they have huge distance between each other. And that is why the density of non-metal is low. The next is tensile strength. Metals have high tensile strength. They are capable to stretch up. While we give heat to them, it will not get broken into pieces, it will get stretched. But if we talk about non-metal, they have low tensile strength. While we give any pressure or heat to them, it will break into pieces. They can brittle easily. Next one, sonorous, which able to make sound. All metals are generally sonorous. That is why metals used to make in electric bell, in doorbells, because they have sonorous property. But if we talk about non-metals, they are non-sonorous. They do not produce any sound. Next one, on the basis of melting and boiling point. Melting point, when any solid at particular temperature allowed to get convert into liquid state. That is considered as melting point of that solid. And boiling point, when any liquid at particular temperature allowed to convert into gas. So that temperature is considered as boiling point of that liquid. As I told you that metal have strong intermolecular interaction between each other. That is why they need high amount of energy to break that bond and change in their state from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. And due to this reason, metals have high melting and boiling point. But if you talk about non-metals, they do not have the strong interaction between each other. That is why their melting and boiling point ratio is also low. For example, silver, gold, copper, aluminium. These are the general example of metal. And for non-metal like bromine, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, sulfur, selenium, these are example of non-metal. So here we discussed about the physical properties between metals and non-metals and how on the basis of such physical properties metals are different from non-metals. With this note, we conclude the session. We'll see you in next session. With this session, we are going to differentiate metals and non-metals on the basis of their chemical properties. So here we are. First we discuss about nature of metal and non-metal. Metals are electropositive in nature, which is also called cations. Because metals, when they allow to take a part in chemical reaction, they always allow to give electron to other elements. That is why they call electropositive elements. But if we discuss about non-metals, non-metals are electronegative in nature, which is also called anions. Because whenever non-metals take a part in chemical reaction, they always allow to gain electron, except hydrogen. Because hydrogen is the only non-metal which is electropositive in nature. Rest of non-metals are electronegative in nature because they always ready to gain electron and called as anions. The next property is number of electron present in the outermost cell, which is also called valence cell. Metals have Some metals have one electron, some two, some three electron in their valence cell. Because as in first property we discussed, metal are electropositive in nature. So they always allow to give electron to other element. They have less number of electron in their outermost cell. Due to this reason, they easily lose their electron and give to any other element. Because if they have less number of electron, so they require less amount of energy to lose electron. That is why metals are electropositive in nature. But if we discuss about non-metal, not in non-metal, in their valence structure cell, they have more electron, like 4 electron, 5, 6, 7 in their valence cell. except hydrogen, because hydrogen have only one electron in the outermost shell, and other non-metal have more electron. And due to this reason, because while giving electron they need more an amount of energy, that is why non-metal always ready to gain electron to fulfill their valence shell with electron. The next property is based on reaction with oxygen. When any metal react with oxygen, it allowed to form metal oxide, which is basic in nature. So it's also called basic oxide. Like for example, magnesium when react with oxygen, it allowed to form magnesium oxide and its nature become basic. So according to pH value, if we know according to pH value, the basicity nature is arise from more than 7 pH to pH value 14. So here metal whenever react with oxygen, it show the basic character. But if the same reaction we do with non-metals, when non-metal react with oxygen, they are allowed to form acidic oxide. Whenever any non-metal react with oxygen, its nature become acidic. Means its pH value it's become lower than 7, from 0 to 7. That the pH value is come in between this range. Like for example, carbon get combined with oxygen. Carbon is non-metal here, and when it get combined with oxygen, it produce carbon dioxide gas, which is acidic in nature. So this is the difference between metal and non-metal on the basis of reaction with oxygen. Now other properties. Reaction with water. When metal react with water, they are always allowed to produce hydrogen gas. Metal plus water is allowed to form metal oxide, and hydrogen gas is liberated during this reaction. Some noble metals like copper, silver, and gold, they're not allowed to take a part in this reaction because they are stable in nature, they are noble metal, so that's why they are less reactive as compared to other metals. Like if we consider zinc, zinc is more reactive metal, so it can easily get combined with water and form zinc oxide and hydrogen gas liberated. Except noble metal, all the metals will take a part in this reaction. But if we discuss about non-metals, non-metals are not react with water. Like carbon, oxygen and other kind of non-metal if we discuss, they're not allowed to take a part in reaction with water. And the next reaction is reaction with dilute acids. When metal react with dilute acids, they same as with water they are allowed to produce hydrogen gas. Like you can see, M represent metal here. When metal get combined with dilute acid, it allowed to produce its salt and hydrogen gas liberated. Like you can see, potassium, which is most reactive metal, when it get react with any dilute acid, is it hydrogen chloride we'll take here. When hydrogen chloric acid is going to combine with potassium, it produce potassium chloride as a salt and hydrogen gas liberated here. So this is a common reaction whenever any metal except noble metal like copper, silver and gold, they do not take a part in reaction because they are highly stable in nature and less reactive as well. Due to that, they not take a part in such reaction, but other metals like you consider sodium, potassium, lithium, these metals easily take a part in reaction and produce their salt and hydrogen gas is liberated here. But if the same reaction you perform with non-metal, non-metal do not allow to take a part in reaction with dilute acids. It's remain like itself, do not show any product formation during they get react with dilute acid. The next reaction is with base. When metal going to react with base, they are allowed to produce their salt, some kind of bases get formed, or the metals get remain to form their oxides form. But they also liberate hydrogen gas during this reaction. Like here, sodium hydroxide get react with zinc. This is base and this is our metal. And it allowed to produce sodium zincate, which is salt in nature. And hydrogen gas is liberated during this reaction. And if the same reaction you perform with non-metal, they allow to get react with base, but they do not produce hydrogen gas as a product. So these are the difference between metals and non-metals on the basis of their chemical property. With this note, we conclude the session. We'll see you in next session. With this session, we are going to discuss about metals versus non-metal. Means the difference between metals and non-metals on the basis of their physical and chemical properties. First, we discuss about physical properties of metals and non-metals. Like here we are. On the basis of physical property, the first physical property we have discussed here, that is position in periodic table. Like you can see in this periodic table, all the metals which are represented in yellow color, they are mentioned at left hand side of periodic table, and all non-metals which are represented in blue color, they are mentioned at right hand side in periodic table. So this is one difference on the basis of position in periodic table. Metals are present at left hand side and non-metals except hydrogen all present at right hand side. Now other differences. On the basis of physical state, metals at room temperature are solid in state except mercury, which is the only metal present at liquid state in room temperature. If you consider as non-metal, non-metals can exist in solid, liquid and gaseous. Some non-metals like sulfur, like selenium, they are present in solid state. Bromine is present in liquid state, and oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, these are present in gaseous state. So we can say metals generally are solid in state and non-metals, maybe some non-metals present in solid state, some in liquid and some are in gaseous state. The next physical property is appearance. Metals are lustrous, they are shiny, but non-metals, they are dull, they are not lustrous. Next one, conductivity. Metals, due to they have free electron in their atomic structure, that is why they are good conductor of heat and electricity. But non-metals, they are poor conductor of heat and electricity. They do not have free electron in their atomic structure. Except graphite. Graphite is the only